Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast. Happy Monday. I don't know what day it is anymore.
Monday.
I'm Jay Zawaski with Boysen and Mario Tirabassi. That does help.
We've done Mailbag on other days.
Mailbag Monday does help, but just in general, my days are all out of whack. All out of whack. We got tons of great questions from you today. We appreciate it as always. If you've never participated in a Mailbag Monday before, it's really easy to do. You just respond to our tweet, or if you're a CHGO diehard, you jump on the Discord, ask us a question in there, and you get priority. We're going to start with our Discord questions today, but first, reminder, smash that like button for us. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Podcast listeners, make sure you are subscribed, following whatever your app calls for, and do us a favor and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Sorry we late. We had a company meeting. All right, let's get right to the mailbag now. Do it.
All right, the mailbag opens up first with this question from the Discord. Of course, we will start with Discord questions.
Oh, AJ, he's here in the chat.
And AJ is in the chat. Yes, AJ Bruin says, you get to choose one NHL player, past or present, to be on Bedard's line. Who do you choose?
Wayne Gretzky.
Are we allowed to pick him?
I guess we're done here.
Past or present.
There's so many good picks, though.
You're right, Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky, Gordie Howe, Mario Lemieux.
Brandon Bolig.
Let's answer this a different way. Let's do it in terms of, like, instead of who would be...
Makes the most...
Not obvious.
Who fulfills what Connor Bedard lacks? Like, what's a nice sort of a compliment to Connor Bedard?
One present and one all-time? Should we each
I like
do
that.
One,
yes.
one present, one past.
Okay. Who starts?
For me, I've been talking about this as we've been looking to the future here. I think Mikko Rantanen is a perfect compliment to Connor Bedard. He is very reminiscent of Marian Hossa in terms of the size, the all-around play, the scoring ability, the ability to create some offense on his own, dominate play at all ends. He's not the biggest name. Like when you talk to hockey fans, like, hey, who are the biggest stars in the league? McKinnon, Crosby, Bedard, Matthews, yada, yada. I think that Mikko Rantanen is in that Hossa category, and I just would really like what he would bring to that line with Bedard. So that's my current player.
Who's your past? Marian Hossa?
Can I say Marian Hossa? I want to go back. I would love to see a guy like prime Jaromir Jagr when he sort of, early in his career, he was like pure offense.
Yeah.
As his career went on, he added a little bit, not that he was ever like Selke caliber, but when he became like the fully realized Jaromir Jagr, I think that would be a lot of fun to watch with this kind of skill, the stick handling, the puck possession that Jagr was able to have. He would be able to get those pucks over to Bedard so he can use that shot. Yeah. And I think it would take a little bit of pressure of Bedard to not have to be the puck carrier all the time on all the possessions too. He's great at it, but I think you could see Bedard, as this team gets better, will be scoring a lot of the Panarin DeBrincat type goals too, where he finds those soft areas of the ice, the puck gets to him, and he's able to use that shot and beat the goalie.
Yeah.
Fun stat I saw just before we went on air, speaking of Alex DeBrincat.
Yeah.
4 5-on-5 goals in his last 49 games.
Wow.
Oof. Damn.
You know who also has 4 5-on-5 goals in 49 games for the Red Wings? Oli Mata.
Blackhawks legend.
Wow.
So
How about
yeah,
that?
that's quite the hey, why are the Red Wings not doing so? Oh, there's a shot.
Lost to the Coyotes last night. Did I see that?
Again.
That was amazing.
No, it was Penguins, I thought.
Oh, yeah,
Penguins. They lost to somebody.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Perfect line mate for Bedard. Current player, you said Rantanen, great choice. I will go with another guy who may or may not be available in another year or two. Leon Draisaitl would be an amazing line mate.
Sure.
Gives you that same type of thing. Plays a two-way game. Bigger guy, great playmaker, great goal scorer. He's got experience playing with a really talented guy named Conor. Should be a good fit.
You think?
All-time player, it's tough. my first choice was like seeing Connor Bedard play with Pavel Bure in his prime would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wow.
I will
That's
go with Marc Messier.
Yeah.
That's
a compliment.
That
like
is
that one.
like
Yeah.
Marc Messier on a line with prime Marc Messier, not Vancouver Canuck second time around. No,
And those bad Navy uniforms.
Edmonton
Yeah.
Oiler 1994 Marc Messier
Yes.
with the Rangers.
Yeah, even Rangers Messier. Yeah.
Rangers
Yeah.
mess.
First Ranger, second time
Yeah,
around,
right,
not
right.
so much. That would be amazing. An amazing combo right there.
Yeah. My current player, funny enough, is another guy that could be
I was
available.
hoping you're going to complete the trilogy.
coming up here pretty soon. I love the idea of Bedard playing with a guy like Steven Stamkos. Like, that is a guy, former first overall pick, elite goal scorer, still has a lot left in the tank.
Yeah.
Real great guy on and off the ice. Like, as far as not only complimenting his game on the ice, I think it's another guy that could be, potentially an off the ice, mentor for Bedard. I think Stamkos is the kind of scorer that could complement Bedard in the way that he can get the puck to him, be available to, for those scoring chances. I think Stamkos is a guy that can still bury him at a high level. I think that would be a really good one, and it's not a guy that is necessarily going to take all of the spotlight away from Bedard on the ice as far as what the defense focuses on, but just enough to where it can open up some lanes for Bedard. And also, if Bedard's too highly focused on, well, you're going to leave Steven Stamkos available. Like, that's a bad idea too. So
Right.
I think that is a guy that I would love to see, and I think that there's not a 0% chance that he could actually be here. And then past. You didn't go with Pavel Bure, but I was going to say Pavel Bure because I think
That'd
you
be
think
a lot
about
of fun.
you think about a guy that has the speed, like physical speed, to keep up with Bedard, and also be a guy that, like, we've seen with Andreas Athanasiou, how he can kind of open up defenses.
Yes.
You can do that with Pavel Bure, who's faster and one of the best goal scorers that has ever been played in the
for
game.
those that missed Pavel Bure, it's Athanasiou's speed with Connor Bedard or
goal scoring
goal
ability.
scorer
Yeah.
X finish.
Yeah, so I would.
Philip Kurshef would score 60 goals on that line. No one would cover him.
Yeah. So I would go with Bure. That just the speed that those two could play together with would be awesome.
By the way, props to the chat throwing out a good pass name. Pavel Datsuk
Yes,
would be
that's another good one.
Pavel Datsyuk
Great.
would fit in on any
Yeah,
line
really.
combination
Yeah, really.
ever. Sergei Fedorov would be awesome with Connor Bedard.
That's another
Sergei Fedorov.
speedy scorer.
Yeah.
with his white Nike skates.
I love. I
was the
just
coolest.
wished Sergei Fedorov's best years were with any other team. Not any other team, but
Yeah.
most other teams.
Columbus Blue Jackets defenseman Sergei Fedorov.
Yeah, I mean,
He
was-
played with
it was
the
one-
Capitals for a few years too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah?
That's where I got to be like, okay, I can root for him now. 'Cause
Yeah.
when I played with the Red Wings. It was like, this guy is so good. He's so fun, but
he's
I
killing
effing
you.
hate
I'm
him.
gonna have to
Yeah.
find myself a Fedorov Blue Jackets jersey.
I
That'd
believe
be
our
fun
buddy
to own.
Tab has a Fedorov Soviet Union
That's cool.
jersey that he
That's a
got.
cool
Well,
one.
not, it wouldn't Soviet, it would be Russia, but like in the actual
Oh, the Russian font or whatever?
Russian font
Yeah.
he got on a trip in Russia. You'll remind him to
That's cool.
tell you that story next time
That's a cool
we're
one.
at the game.
All right,
Nice. I like that
good. A couple of people too said Bobby Hull, and
Sure.
it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just don't allow him.
personality
to hang out with them
aside,
Don't hang out
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Personality aside,
Play your 15 shifts together and then keep them separated.
I
I wish I
think
could have
Bobby
seen
Hall
him
would
play,
think
though.
would think Conor was too boring to hang out with him anyway. So.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You know nothing about wine.
Spot on.
All right,
Next.
let's dive back into the mail sack.
Whoa.
This again
Hey now.
is from the Discord. This is from Blackhawk63. With the limit
That's nice.
on AHL call-ups after the deadline, should the Hawks bring up a D-man just in case of injury?
Well, they did.
They did.
Interesting.
Oh, good timing on this.
Went on
Yeah.
it's 3-game road trip out west. Yeah.
They only had 6 healthy
Right.
defensemen, so
they
Wyatt
say,
Kaiser.
Wyatt Kaiser.
Come on up. Put him in. Why
Yeah,
not?
they have to.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm very glad he's back. I can't watch Tenorti or Megna again. I know I'm going to have to.
Hey, Jared Tenorti had the best blue line last night.
He
Again,
was not horrible.
Another
last night.
reason to get rid. We're not using that for Who's Your Hawk anymore. It's a flawed system where Jared Tenorti and Zach Stanford could have the highest blue lines within the span of a week. I'm done with the blue lines. Done. Nerds.
Well, yeah, no, yes, they brought up Wyatt Kaiser, which is good. He's been playing pretty well with Rockford since he's been down there.
5 points in his last 5 games.
Yeah, he had an assist last night.
Contributing on the power play a lot too.
Yeah,
He's
that's
been
good.
playing on the second power play unit. Del Mastro's on the top power play. Both of those guys are racking up the assists on the power play.
It's good. Yeah,
Remington Pitlick.
Yeah, I think Kaiser coming up is a good, like, they needed him for the road trip first and foremost. But secondly, definitely give him a look in one of these 3 games. 2 of the games are against Anaheim and San Jose. You can play him on those
Right.
in those games and give him some NHL time, see where his development is at, and go from there. And like I said, he's been playing well since he's been down there. They wanted to give him an opportunity to breathe. Coming from college to the NHL, that's a tough transition, and you could see it in his game. And it's been working in Rockford. So give him a shot to see what he's proved, what he's learned.
Interesting to see if his physicality is more ramped up if and when he gets in the game, because he's under source and told us when we were down in Rockford that it took him a handful of games to get used to the physicality of the AHL.
Yeah.
The AHL is a much more physical league than the NHL is. Less skill, more physicality.
Plays rougher.
And it took him a little while. So I'm interested to see, is he going to be a little more of a red ass out there after a half a season in the AHL.
I've thought this a lot about Kaiser. Sorry, Mario. I thought I interrupted you. My bad. Sorry for not interrupting you. Sorry for apologizing for interrupting you, even though I didn't. I'm sorry for everyone. My anxiety. Anyway, I liked from day one, Kaiser's got a bit of a swag to him.
Yeah, he does.
He kind of borderlines on cocky a little bit, and it's good for him. You kind of want that from your undersized defenseman. You want him to feel like, hey, I might be not your ideal, Victor Hedman-sized defenseman, but you're not going to push me around, and I'm not afraid of you. So I like a little bit of that swag. I think that he has probably been chomping at the bit to get back up here because he probably felt like, hey, I earned it. Yeah, I had a couple bad games that got me sent down, but the fact that he hasn't had a chance since, when I got the email this morning, I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he probably should have been up here for a while.
I kind of like that they made it more of an extended period of time. Yeah. Let him get some, pro game confidence, and then I would imagine he's going to be back down there for the playoffs.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Because, this Rockford Ice Hogs team,
they're
now
clicking.
that it's getting healthy and you're still having Bjork coming back, that is...
Well, he's out. Shoulder surgery, he's done for the year.
I didn't see that.
That happened today.
Okay. Well, never mind. But even without him, that is a real good Calder Cup playoff lineup. It's deep. They've got skill. You've got physicality. You've got, goaltending. The goaltending's been a lot better. So,
Stauber and Comezzo have been good. Good 1-2 tandem.
Yeah. So it should be fun. I'm hoping we get a chance to go cover quite a few playoff games at the BMO.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. They're gonna host at least 2. I think right now where they're at in the standings, they'll either have they're right now the 3 seed. So they would have the first 2 games of the conference the divisional semifinal. Yeah, but it's 2-3. So they'd have the first 2, and then the team that has home ice gets the
right
back
now. They'd
3.
be they're likely on course for that matchup against the Grand Rapids Griffins. So yeah, they would have the first 2 games.
But if they were to be the 4 seed, they'd play the 4-5 play-in, but they'd host all games if it goes all 3 best of 3 series.
Right.
So. Yeah, home playoff games are coming to Rockford this year one way or another.
Guess what?
Yes.
I just went to Game Time, and you can get yourself some Rockford Ice Hogs tickets.
You sure
on there.
can.
Really?
Yeah. And if you're looking for tickets to any great event coming up in your area, wherever you are, you should use our friends at Game Time. We're all tired of worrying about buying tickets. You never know what that final number is going to be. No matter what the face value is, there's always that sticker shock at the end. You don't get that problem with Game Time. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. They've got, like I said, those last-minute deals, the flash deals, the zone deals, that low-price guarantee, event cancellation protection, and job loss protection. So if you get fired for misbehaving at a company party, you're covered. Game Time's got you.
Sweet.
Yeah, isn't that nice? They're obsessed with finding ways to help you save money on tickets. Find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. And with those zone deals, you pick the section, and Game Time picks the seats for an average savings of 18%. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Hey, gang, are you in the market for a new vehicle? If you are, then we've got some great news for you. Well, other people might be. Our partner, Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Fox Lake is celebrating the Jeep Celebration event all month long. And you know what that means? You're able to rave about their savings on a wide selection of inventory. For a limited time, lease a new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo Attitude. That's a long name for a car. For $439 a month for 39 months. That's like less than 3 years. I don't know what.
3 years and a few months.
Yes. Anyway, if that Grand Cherokee isn't big enough for you, some of you that's a problem for, check out the third row and lease a new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited L for $479 a month for just 39 months at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. You'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest inventories and drive home with more money in your pocket than you expect thanks to the Ray Price Promise. Don't miss out. Shop great deals all month long and save big because Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram makes buying a new vehicle more affordable than ever. But that's not all. Just for listening, you, our lovely CHGO friends and family, get a free oil change just by mentioning CHGO at the service center or mentioning us, CHGO, when you book online at raycdjr/service. But you got to schedule that oil change before April 1st. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, then you have to check out the team at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram because they are the only team we recommend. Visit them today on Route 12 in Fox Lake. For more information, head over to raycdjr.com, serving the community since 1963.
Nice. All right, let's get to a couple more mailbags. We got some super chats hanging.
I was going to maybe do the super chats now.
We do give Discord.
Let's knock out Discord and then we'll hit the super chats.
Discord first.
Okay, people in Discord paid more money.
Yeah,
okay,
that's true.
that is true. All right,
unless Duke has a super chat.
Back to the mailbag. All right, this one comes from Stanks McGee 2001.
Nice.
My nickname in college.
For all three of you guys, say we don't get the number one pick, who would you take with number 2 this draft if it's so deep talent-wise? And I also think we need one more course-level hyped defenseman. And then this was sort of piggybacking off this just as from Twitter. Who'd you guys like? It's a draft at the 2, 3, or 4 position this year. So this is a draft question. Who are we drafting? So if it's not Macklin, Celebrini.
I would say if the Blackhawks land with the number 2 overall pick, which is where they're slotted right now, I love Artem Levshinov, the defenseman for Michigan State.
With you.
Big guy, right-handed shot. We mentioned Victor Hedman earlier on this podcast, very much like him, a guy who's going to be that kind of like workhorse, can play both sides of special teams, can eat a lot of minutes, rangy. That's a good word for a defenseman, rangy, and that's kind of the trend the Blackhawks have gone with their defensemen recently. So I think Levshinov would be great. And I know a lot of people have been talking about Anton Silyev, another Russian defenseman, 6'7", like
that's
big guy. But I don't think it's a Blackhawks thing, but I like that Levshinov is at Michigan State rather than Silyev being in the KHL. And I know that the Blackhawks have some good KHL prospects. Roman Kantsarov, who, if you've been reading the rebuild report, Greg's been covering him. He's been doing great in Russia this year. Yep. I don't think they particularly stray from European or Russian prospects, but I think with Levshinov being at Michigan State, a little easier for him to be closer to home. And me personally, I like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think Leshinov is the pick at number 2, or if he's available at 3. I kind of see the Hawks going with one of those defensemen, whether it's 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah.
You mentioned the 2 there, and you also have Sam Dickinson, another big defenseman playing.
Not related to Jason.
No, playing for the
Big Sam Dick.
London Knights. He's a 2-way defenseman, really good skater, 6'2", 204 pounds, so he's got some size to it. Think of maybe a Kevin Korchinski light, but bigger. So I think they're going to go with one of those 3 defensemen with that top 4 pick, and then that second pick go and get one of the forwards. The forward group, that seems the defenseman is top heavy this year, where you want to get one of those 3 guys if you got a shot at them, and then the forward group is a little more deep. And you could get another good quality player like an Oliver Moore-ish type player later in that first round.
Yeah, there's going to be a really good forward available in that 18, 19, 20 range.
Yeah,
for sure.
because if say the Hawks pick Lushadnov the second overall, that might start a defenseman run, and then all of a sudden,
your next 4
6
picks
out of the 7 first picks are defensemen.
Your next 4 picks might all be defensemen.
And then guys that were supposed to go 7, 8, or 9 are now there for you at 17, 18, wherever that other pick's going to be.
What's great too for them is they've got, with the draft capital they have, if let's say they fall to 3 and they really love somebody at 2, they could trade up. They could trade if they've got to, and they're like, hey, we're pretty on the fence about these next 3 defensemen. They could trade. They have a lot of flexibility. Yeah. If it's number 1, it's going to be Celebrini.
Yes,
that's pretty much unquestioned. But from then on, there's a lot of.
It opens up. Yeah,
I'm with you though. I'm taking Lev Shunov because the right-handed defensemen, for whatever reason, are at a massive premium these days, and a guy that can be, or like as we try to slot these pieces of, okay, well, who's the Keith, who's the Seabrook, who's the Hjalmarsson. You need that stay-at-home, shut Keith, down, Michigan absolute stud. Yeah, the Hawks have had good luck with the Michigan State defenseman
for a little bit.
Well, hey, he went to a class there.
Yeah, basket weaving 101.
And if you want to see Levshunov, he's taking on Frank Nazar.
Yes,
Michigan State for the Big Ten hockey championship. That is next week.
That is this weekend, I believe.
I think it's the.
I'll check.
It's Saturday night. The Big Ten tournament. I think we keep getting asked, when's Frank Nazar coming? I think by beating Minnesota.
Michigan will be in the tournament, the NCAA tournament. Getting to the conference final, they'll be
beating Minnesota in the semis, which was a really good game. Kind of clinched their spot to the NCAA. So the likelihood of seeing Nazar here this year is becoming smaller and smaller.
And less.
Yeah.
Unless they get bounced right away, but. I mean, the Frozen Four is after the end of the regular season. So, the chances of him getting here and getting a quick taste with the Blackhawks, not looking so good, which is fine.
It's okay.
Hey, go out and win a national championship and get that experience.
And he's under contract for another year.
Michigan State will be a 7 p.m. local time start. So Saturday, March 23rd.
So that is this.
No, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Yeah, that's this
Saturday.
That's this Saturday.
That's 5 days from
now. What am I looking at? Oh, yes, you're right. March 23rd.
6 p.m. So we can watch that ahead of Blackhawks and Sharks that night. Yes.
At home.
Exactly.
All right, let's get another one in here.
Alrighty, this comes from AJ. It's a baseball kid. If Bedard were to get his own special goal song, a la Rock You Like a Hurricane or Sharp Dressed Man, what would you pick for him and why? He wouldn't be able to select it himself because he barely knows what music is.
He would give no Fs what song it was.
18 in Life by Skid Row.
There you go.
Youth Gone Wild.
Youth Gone Wild. The Hawks use that for a while.
Screw it. Just play the Connor Corners theme song after
That's
That's
the one.
That's true.
And
yes.
everybody in the stadium
that's
like,
the pick.
Who wouldn't like that?
That's wonderful.
Like the kids would start dancing.
Kind of matches your shirt today, by the way. That was kind of the inspiration for Connor's Corner.
The Firefly Funhouse.
Firefly Funhouse.
bit, yeah.
Yes, yes, that was kind of the inspiration. Without the chainsaws,
not as
and death.
dark. Yeah, not as dark.
Not as dark. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Wait
no.
till he starts slaying bums in the playoffs, and then we could get the chainsaws on there.
Yeah,
There you go. I like that. Yeah,
I
Connor's
second. I
Corner.
second the Connor's Corner music.
That's it. What else
Done.
could it be?
Sold. Okay.
We will sell that music to the Blackhawks for
Yeah,
lots of money.
All right. Again, this is from the Discord. This is from Rooney.
Rooney.
Rudy. Does the MLB jersey fiasco make you more or less nervous about Fanatics taking over NHL jerseys? The pessimist in me goes, see, they're just going to mess it up. While the optimist goes, after this backlash, they have to be more diligent. Right?
I am
Wrong.
a ridiculous optimist, and they're going to screw this
They're going
up.
to screw it up. Though
You've known it's going to be bad, and now you've seen what they've done with the MLB. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
I'm waiting to see, though, if, like, MLB, when they get to opening day here in another week or so, they have better jerseys where they're like, no, those are just the spring training jerseys with the smaller numbers and the smaller font.
If that was the case, they would have said it.
Well, they haven't printed, they haven't made the new ones yet, so they're just waiting till those come out. You know, they didn't know if they get. I don't know.
I think you have too much faith in Fanatics.
I want to have more faith in like the people paying Fanatics to be like, what are we paying you for? Get your shit
This is
together.
unacceptable. Exactly.
They're gonna screw up. Like, listen, if I have always expected the NHL to screw up whatever it is. If there is a ball to drop, the
We're good at
NHL
it.
is dropping it repeatedly.
Dropped.
I also don't buy that every single one of these Fanatics screw ups we see online is real. I think people are photoshopping things. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't screw ups. Every company has screw ups, but I think some of these people are like I saw one the other day. There's somebody had a 97 Oilers jersey that had Draisaitl on the back of it.
Yes, I saw
I'm like,
that as well.
okay, either you bought it like that or you're like, I don't buy every single one of them is that egregious.
Conspiracy.
Not that many.
Conspiracy theory.
People just
I
want to
hope
get in an age where it is so easy to like manipulate pictures and just go out there and get engagement and impressions.
made that
and
in
get
about 4 minutes.
Get retweets. It's too easy. I'm not buying that every single one of these screw ups is legit.
So what do you think actually happened to Kate Middleton then?
That's a whole nother podcast. I got to go get my tinfoil hat, and I can only do it between 1:13 a.m. and 2:48 because that's when the CAA isn't listening.
Yeah. As far as Fanatics goes, it's
gonna be bad.
I've been saying it since it was announced that it was going to be Fanatics. If you want a Blackhawks jersey, get your Adidas now because the first edition of the Fanatics are going to be bad.
Yeah.
And according to Aesthetics, if you follow them, they got all the jersey information that you could ever hope for and some inside tips. They said that Fanatics has asked the NHL teams to push back any jersey modifications or alternate. What's the word I'm looking for?
Like alternate jerseys. things like
Alternate
that.
jerseys, yeah.
Yeah.
Alterations. That's what I was going to
There
say.
you go.
Till 26-27, the 26-27 season. So they take over next season, which is 24-25. 25-26 is the 100th anniversary of the Blackhawks and a couple other
Rangers
NHL
and
teams.
the Red Wings.
And so they're saying no alternates, no changes till 26-27.
That's not going to fly.
That's no bueno.
There's no way the Blackhawks, Rangers, and Red Wings are going to allow them to not have any kind of special
They've gotta
centennial
have
jerseys
something, yeah.
when the Bruins have like 7 this year. There's
And
not
they're all
gonna
awesome,
happen.
by the way.
They're going to say, okay, Fanatics, figure it out.
And that also same thing from Aesthetics said that the Bruins Centennial is only this season. They're going back to their old version, and all the jerseys are going to be just the old template for next season. So if you want a Blackhawks jersey, you want a Bedard jersey or
Do it now.
Korchinski or Vlasic
Do
or
it now.
whatever, get it from Adidas because the first round from Fanatics is going to be rough.
And by the way, the Adidas ones look awesome.
They're great.
The colors great. Like everything
great.
pops. They did a great job on
Yeah,
them. I'm sad they're leaving.
I have a Duncan Keith Adidas one. Like I love it.
But just for the record, though, we did when this news broke months ago. We talked to Jamie Faulkner about it, and she said that they have seen the prototypes and they've ripped them, tore them, and tried to
They've
break
been-
them. And
yeah, they've
she
been
said they weren't
involved.
horrible. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well,
We'll
they-
see. So long as the pants aren't see-through, like in the MLB,
The Sabres are
I think
screwed
we'll be okay.
I want to see through hockey pants.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get your wish. Who knows? Hey, speaking of getting wishes and getting some money, if you put down some good bets on Circus Sportsbook, it's not just going to be a wish. It is going to be your wish granted in getting your money on those bets with Circus Sportsbook, because they have some of the best money lines around with their low hold models. On the Circus Sportsbook app, games will strive to be a -110 split, unlike other sportsbooks which may have the same games at -115 or -120. That's because Circa keeps as little money as possible on large market bets, especially compared to those other books. The other great thing about Circa is their high limits on winners. They don't limit winners based on their winnings. Every player has the same limits, unlike other books who do limit those who are winning a lot. Take as much money from Circa as you can. They encourage bettors to download and explore all sports betting apps available to compare the lines, and you're going to see that you're always going to come back to Circus Sportsbook with the best lines available. And they have great customer service because there are real people behind the Circus Sports brand who resolve issues in a timely fashion, unlike other books who will use chatbots. Boo. All aspects of the app are run by the same team that runs the main Circus Sportsbook at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. So download the Circus Sports Illinois app at circusports.com/Illinois-app and sign up today. Also be on the lookout for Circa events, watch parties, and tailgates. We got a couple with CHGO events that are also with Circa coming up, so keep an eye out for those. And if you or someone you may know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER. That is 1-800-426-2537, or text GAMB, G-A-M-B, to 833-234, or visit areyourreallywinning.com.
And did you guys know you can have icy cold Coors Light delivered right to your door?
I did.
Really?
Absolutely. We're going to tell you how in a second.
Right to my door?
Right to your door.
Right to the door.
And whether the Hawks are stressing you out or you're celebrating another win over an inferior team like the San Jose Sharks, Coors Light is the perfect beer to chill with. I love when you got the friends coming over, order up some pizza or whatever, go to the liquor store, pick up a pack of Coors Light, or have it delivered right to my door, because it's just the perfect beer to chill. It's perfect. I love it. It helps me relax. It helps me stay positive. Helps me have a good time. What's that?
Helps me chill.
Yeah. That's what it's all about these days, right? Like, it's a crazy year.
Chilling like a villain.
We know November is going to be very stressful. Let's just chill. Everybody chill. Everybody order some Coors Light. When the mountains turn blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. Coors Light, it's cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish when it's time to chill. Crack open an icy cold Coors Light. It is mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies, not the baseball squadron. When it's time to chill, Coors Light is the beer we reach for. Got one right here. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Listen to this. Here's how. Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO hockey. That's CoorsLight.com/CHGO hockey. Celebrate responsibly, of course. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, and I will drink to that.
Golden, Colorado.
Delicious.
Darn.
Refreshing. Ice cold.
Sensitivity.
Delicious.
All right, how many more
we've
Discords
got
we have?
plenty of Discords.
plenty.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, let's
Six
go.
more
We're
from
going
the
to have
Discord.
some spillover.
We're going to have some
Mailbag.
leftovers on Wednesday.
Mailbag Wednesday.
All right.
I love
Here we go. This is from Charlie the Bacon Guy, our good
Charlie.
friend. He asks, he says, I know Felino was brought in to be that leader for Bedard. Is there anything he is doing or can do to be that quote-unquote dad mentor to Reichel also?
I think so. I mean, it's not like Felino just sits there and only talks to Connor Bedard in the locker room. He's out there at practice, and he's constantly talking
to everybody.
And he's, he is. I mean, and hey, he's on Lukas Reichel's line right now, and it worked pretty well first game out. So he's not. Nick Felino wasn't brought in just to sit there and be Connor Bedard's dad. He's the team dad. Like he's always
the cool dad.
He's constant. he's talking with Vlasic and Korchinski. That's why they're keeping him around 2 years, to be a mentor for all the young guys, not just Connor Bedard.
Yeah, for sure. I think he likes that role. He's definitely embraced it. yeah, I don't think it's exclusive to Bedard. I think he's there for all the young guys to learn from and kind of be that that example of like here's what you got to do on and off the ice to acclimate yourself to the NHL game and have success. So I don't think it's just he's not just. I know his locker is right next to Bedard's, but that means he can talk to everybody.
Yeah, he's 2 away from Reichel too. So
yeah, they're right there.
The other thing too is remember Lukas Reichel is 3 years older than Connor Bedard. He's been a pro for a long time. He lived in Rockford, so some of that off the ice stuff Reichel's a little more accustomed to than Bedard was.
Yeah, I think so.
So there's a little bit of a difference there, but yeah, I think there might be a little bit of a misconception about the way Felino mentors these guys. It's not like after every game he sits at the table and just says, "Okay, now here's." It's more of a lead by example. Be there when you need them. Offer suggestions throughout the course of a game, that sort of stuff. And if there are things that come up off the ice, to be the kind of guy that can give guidance in that way. But it's not like a constant teacher-student sort of a thing. It's not Mr. Miyagi and Danielson. It's just 2 hockey players, one of which happens to be super experienced,
and
a great guy and great leader.
Yeah, they're not having a family dinner where they go around the table and say, "What did you learn today?" And what did you do today? That was kind to somebody.
Be a great episode of every shift.
That'd be wonderful. I would love that, but that's not the actual reality.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wish it was.
All right, back to the Discord. This from Reese Johnson fan.
There he is.
Would you rather have player A carries his team's offense, dynamic offensively, almost a point per game on a bad team and has a low plus minus?
So Connor Bedard.
Or player B, decent offensive numbers on borderline wildcard team, has a positive plus minus and plays big minutes.
I see what you did there.
Clever boy.
Who could player A and player B possibly be?
I would take player A and give him the Calder Trophy.
I would take both.
That'd be nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I want Connor Bedard, not Brock Faber.
But
I would take
if
Connor
I had to
Bedard's
choose,
rookie season
yes.
over Brock Faber's rookie season.
Yeah, I would, and I would take Brock Faber on the Blackhawks in a heartbeat.
yeah, and let's not underestimate what Brock Faber has done. He's putting up offensive numbers too.
He's in a really good situation for a young defenseman because he's on a team that has a lot of veterans around him. He's on a team that plays a very defense-first structure.
Because they have to.
Yes, because they don't have much scoring.
Because they don't have Connor Bedard.
And, he's in a good situation. He's a really good fit for that team, and it's showing.
He's got 38 points.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's good for any defenseman, let alone a rookie defenseman on a team that doesn't score a ton of goals.
To be a defenseman at a just above a half point per game click and playing the minutes he does, playing the role he does, wonderful. That's great. The Wild have a really good defenseman in Brock Faber.
But the fact that we're still having these fan debates because one general manager's burner account went out there and made asinine statements, it's so silly.
No way he believes that.
And if he does,
there's no way.
If he does, he needs to go to therapy.
I mean,
stop drinking the Kool-Aid.
There's no one in Minnesota that would sincerely not accept that trade. If the Hawks said, we will give you Connor Bedard for Brock Faber, 100% of Minnesota residents, Minnesota Wild staff, legends, broadcasters, media would say, hell yes, we will take Connor Bedard for Brock Faber. 100% of them. Make no mistake.
I don't know. You've been on the internet recently?
I have been, but it's not about Justin Fields or Caleb Williams.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, it's for this one season, for this one award, it's Connor Bedard's, and beyond that, they can both coexist as really good, really young players.
Could be. Hey, maybe we'll have a really nice rivalry because they're going to play each other 4 times a year for the next 15 years.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a really good rivalry, and Brock Faber can send Connor Bedard nice text messages when he advances in the playoffs, and Brock Faber's golfing in lovely Eden Prairie, Minnesota. We'll see.
Yeah. And hey, they'll have an opportunity to play on Team USA and Team Canada against each other in the future, I'm sure. Yeah, it'll be fun.
All right, back to the mailbag on a Monday. This is from our friend in Portugal.
Hello.
Alexandra Farapas.
He was having a little fun with our.
I was going to say, this
I
question
chose the
starts
most
in the
coherent.
middle of a thought.
Yeah, this was like the fourth question in a row where he was trying to cause drama between the CHGO staff members.
Nice.
Yeah,
Speaking
we are a
of
brotherhood.
which,
We love
yes.
each other.
I will maybe not read the last line, but he says a more serious question. Apparently, another post game, I don't know who he's talking about, is stealing the whoa from you guys. How do you deal with that? Does it
Oh,
make
shit.
you guys? Does it make you guys mad?
I've
or
emptied out the trunk of my car. That's how I'm going to deal with it.
Or do you brush it off as a hey, we're cool kind of thing? Does it make you guys want to call out those people by name?
I'll call out Pat Boyle by name, stealing our bit. Pat, me and Pat have always had a fine relationship, but it's clearly something that we have done, made it our thing. It's been part of every post game show we did.
We started it like
Every
the
time we
second
mentioned
they
Joey
acquired
Anderson.
Second
him.
they acquired him, we
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. It doesn't. I'm glad they're listening. I'm glad they're noticing what we're doing. Clearly, by their podcast set decoration and podcast imagery, they like what we're doing because it's basically identical. Wow, you're in a brick room with a bunch of microphones and tables and chairs. Weird. Like
They-
2 months after we started
They
this,
weren't
Interesting.
even doing their podcasts on YouTube until we came along. They were audio only.
Right.
And after about 3 months, all of a sudden, hey, we're going to put ours on YouTube too.
There's no hard feel. I don't have hard. I just
Flattery,
Yeah.
hey, I want people to copy us because that means we're doing
we're
something,
doing something right.
Right.
And immediately they saw, oh, this is a threat. This is something that is going to challenge us for viewers and listeners, and we need to respond, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
Like that's the sort of thing that is, I think anyone who's ever worked for a startup can talk about is, I believe in this. I think it's great. Are people noticing? Are we making an impact? The answer is yes. Like everywhere we go, whether it's hockey exec or fan on the street, people are telling us how great we're doing, and we're seeing what other companies have done. Odyssey's done it. NBC Sports Chicago has done it. They have reacted to what we're doing. They're trying to do their own vision of what we do, and great. Like, bring it on, because I think we do it better than anybody. We do it every day. I saw the CHGO Bears show tweeted out their stats for this week. They did 9 podcasts this week.
Yeah.
No, 11 in 9 days.
11 pods in 9 days.
Couple emergencies.
We had
All for it.
Cody and everybody go live at, like, what was it, like 1 in the morning
It
when
was-
Cody Bellinger
It was
signed?
like
Yeah.
1:45 a.m. That was
That's the
amazing.
sort of stuff. Like, that's the sort of stuff that we
it
can
was-
do.
Justin Fields got traded, and
on a Saturday.
and nobody else here. The radio stations are running pre-recorded shows,
Right.
None of the local news stations were covering it. We were the only people. We were the only sports media outlet that had live reaction to that.
Within
Adam
half
Hogue's in
an
his
hour, yeah.
car
In
doing a
that moment,
podcast.
Yeah.
So and then we've done that here on Hawks.
Yep.
Where we've literally sent in a video from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, because Taylor Hall and Nick Felino
Yeah.
became Blackhawks. Like that's
instant
the
reaction,
commitment.
yeah.
Like we aren't just 1 hour a day on this podcast. We're on the clock 24 hours a day.
I just, if Pat's listening, a little bit of a shout out.
Yeah,
Like when we have flat out stolen the like spike from What Chaos. But we
Yeah,
acknowledge that, hey, that's a pretty good idea. And it works for them. So let's just steal it. And every time we do it, we're going to say, in honor of What Chaos or inspired by our pals at What Chaos, we're going to do a like spike. Right?
But is it
Yeah,
stealing
and
when you work for the same company?
It is, but it's still like it's their concept.
Right.
Right.
No,
But we
it's-
give them
it's-
credit.
yeah.
Hey,
That's
we
the
saw
point.
this on this show. We liked it. We're going to use it too. At least be like, hey, by the way, say, whoa, thanks CHGO.
Yeah, shout out. Shout out
and
Jay, Greg, and
that has
Mario.
happened last summer, of course, the summer of Mike Talkman on the north side. Cole Wright on Marquee mentioned Cody Del Mendo, who was the
Right.
one who came up with that.
It's not
which
hard.
was great.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
And I think just to tie a bow on this, there's room for all of it.
For sure, yeah.
We're not mad that we have challengers. That's great. Like, competition is good, and it keeps us sharp. It keeps us motivated. It keeps us wanting to win. And I think they all feel the same way. But we have the power here to do what they don't. We can go live in a moment's notice.
Yep.
And you could talk about live and local sports radio, which is true, as long as it's Monday through Friday from, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But if anything happens after that, you better hope Damon and Mendelar is not pre-recorded.
We had Mario and I had a former member of the Chicago media talk to us at practice the other day, and he said, "God, I wish I was able to do what you guys do when I was doing TV."
Yeah,
like so, it's good stuff. Like it's all good. We're not putting a hit out on anybody.
No,
but,
and there's
not yet.
and
Charlie better watch his back.
And like you said, Jay, like there's room for all of it. Like I've before starting here, like I listened to Charlie and Pat and all those guys with Blackhawks Talk. Still tune in from time to time. I listened to you and James with Madhouse. I listened to the Athletic when it was more widely available. Like there's people who do that, consume everything that's possible, and we're part of that, and that's fine. That's great.
Yeah.
I as long as we're part of it. That's great.
When I first got started into all this and it was when the blogs were huge.
Yeah, same.
And I started at Blackhawk Up, and then I got the opportunity to run Second City Hockey. But you had Second City Hockey, you had Cheer the Anthem was big, and you had Hockey Night, and you had like the legit. But each outlet gave you a different kind of perspective. Like you knew where to go to get the analytical breakdown. You knew where to go to.
That's it.
To get the sarcasm and the music references, and you knew where to go to get the fart and dick jokes. Shout out to our guy Fork.
Oh, I thought you were talking about us.
No, like we're like when we do that.
And the best thing is we've put it all together.
Yes, we put it all in one show. But there's room for everything out there, and just if you're gonna use somebody else's bit, just give them a little wink, a little wink and a nudge,
even if it's once.
Yeah,
just once.
Because there's going to be some people that listen to us the first time, and they're going to think we're copying it from him,
right?
And that's not the way it went.
But your point is, sorry, it's whatever. But everything brings something different. I get something different from Laz and Powers that I get different from NBC Sports Chicago. People get different stuff from us, and on and on and on. Yeah. There's something for everybody, and hopefully we do the best job of combining all three with dick and fart jokes.
Hopefully. I mean, if they tell us we have to stop doing that, I may update the resume.
We'll see. All right, next.
Back to Discord for this one from Darth Kane. Do I have to read it like Darth Kane? No. Given the Blackhawks' remaining schedule, what are the odds they can catch Anaheim? Screw the draft lottery. The Hawks need to win as many games as possible to end the season strong.
I agree with that last statement. I want this team to win as many games as possible down the stretch because it's good. Because there are so many more.
It's fun.
There are so many guys that are important now that need to learn how to win.
There's 6 points behind Anaheim right now,
and they got
68 games played by each team.
And they play them
almost nice. One more time.
They play them one more time. Not the next game. Next game is Kings.
Then
the game
Ducks,
after is the Ducks. Yeah,
they could catch them.
They could, and I think.
Then they finish third and win the draft lottery again. Oh no.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. I mean, they're
not that.
They're not right now. They're not picking worse than fourth. And as we talked earlier, like. If it's not Celebrini, like anywhere in that 2, 3, 4, 5 range, you're going to get a really good player, and you're going to get basically your pick of who you want. You're going to have really skilled defensemen. You're going to have really skilled forwards available. So this year is a lot different when it comes to the draft lottery than last year was. So if they pick up some wins, like we can have more fun. They can have more fun. We talk with Felino all the time about wanting to instill winning habits and those things. Winning games helps you with, instilling those lessons of when we play this way, we get rewarded for it. And not just moral victories, literal victories. And I think that this team can afford to have a couple of those in the last 14 games of the year.
There's something that needs to be said about Kevin Korchinski scoring the game-winning goal the other night. How far that can go into his mentality and get him to do what we've all said, including Luke Richardson, all season. Shoot the puck more. He shoots the puck, goes in off a defenseman's stick,
gets a screen,
game-winning freaking goal. That's going to be like, hey, and he talked about after the game about how loud the UC was after he scored. That's better than any drug on the market, man. That's addictive. So hopefully that's the play that gets him going. Man, I love this. I want to score the game-winning goal every freaking game. Like, it's big. It's huge.
Yeah.
So, the Hawks are going to have a top 4 or 5 pick no matter where they finish. Let them go win. 2 through 5, they're I don't want to say equal players, but like prospect level, they're about the same. Like you're going to get a really good player. So just go out and start building that winning culture we've been hearing about for 2 years. Now is your chance to put down that foundation with your guys like Bedard and Korchinski and Vlasic and those veterans that are going to be back back next year. So that was an exciting game, and I think it's understated how important it was that it was Kevin Korchinski that had that big moment as far as getting him to do what everybody wants him to do more.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, we got 2 more Discords, and we'll get our Super Chats, and then we'll wrap up. Later in the week, we might just finish off the ones we got from Twitter and stuff. So
Wednesday.
Yeah. Or we'll do an overtime at some point this week. Maybe
an
too.
overtime. There you go.
We haven't done one of those in a while.
All right, this again from the Discord. Become a diehard. You want to be there. Matt Buss, if you scored an overtime goal to win a game, obviously, what would your Selly be, gentlemen?
Ooh.
Well, Paul Ludwinski, Blackhawks prospect, scored the overtime winner for the Kingston Frontenacs last night, and it completed a hat trick. He took the glove off, put it on the blade of the stick, put it up like a selfie stick, and did the little selfie.
I love that.
With the teammates
Sully,
behind
and
him,
all his teammates were like this. Like it was awesome. I loved it. I would either do that or I would do the Ned Braden from Slapshot and just
take all your clothes off?
strip.
That's what I was going to say. Would I get suspended if I wave my wiener?
Oh my gosh.
Probably $5,000 is the maximum.
Worth it.
Yeah, that's worth it. That's worth it.
Worth it.
Yeah.
So it depends if am I home or road. If I'm on the road and it's a hostile environment, Tony Amane once famously did the DX
That's a fun
after
one.
scoring a goal.
Yeah.
That's fun. But I've always been a big fan of the score of the goal and then running crash into the glass.
The Ovechkin.
Like kind of check yourself into the glass. That's what I would do.
I was a big fan of the Dustin Byfuglien. Are you not entertained?
Yeah,
that's a good
get a
one.
look at these.
And then I also was a huge fan of last spring Matthew Tkachuk scoring a goal and just skating.
Oh,
directly
yeah,
off
the
ice.
walk-off.
Just like, screw you, I'm out of here.
walk-off.
The
Yeah,
walk-off in the
that was kinda
playoffs, those were
yeah.
great.
On the road, you definitely want to do maybe a little Hulk Hogan, ear, or the wave goodbye.
Like the Queen, yes, the Queen's
the
wave.
Queen
sure.
wave. Those
If
are
it's
always
like
fun.
if it's like an overtime eliminator, like blowing a kiss to the away crowd,
The stately wave.
instant heat.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I did
Give him a
enjoy
salute.
Connor Bedard staring down Spencer Martin.
That was a
After
good
scoring,
one.
just being like,
for the
Yeah.
goal that didn't count, right?
For a
didn't
goal that
count.
didn't count.
One of the 3 that didn't
That was a
count
good
this
one.
year.
But he also had
3
the
or 4?
over.
At least 3.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna have a couple good ones.
I think
imagine.
there was a generation of kids that, including Connor Bedard, that grew up doing the heartbreaker Sally.
Patrick Kane. Yeah, he did at the World Juniors.
Connor Bedard's going to have one that the next generation of kids, like 15 years from now, are still going to be doing.
I see a lot of the junior players doing the slick the hair back a lot. Maybe that's a thing that's happening.
We'll see.
I don't know. Maybe you have to have the right kind of hair underneath the helmet to do it. I think Frank Nazar I saw do it. Isaac Howard did it as well with Team USA. Like those guys got some nice heads of hair.
Not me. I do today because I got my hair
I can
cut.
do that one.
You can
Hey,
do
hair
it.
looks nice
Yeah.
today. You're looking
Thank
good.
you.
I do
It'll
the hair,
never
I
look
do
like
the
this
hair
again.
flip.
The hair flip.
I'll
There you
score
go.
and just do
Yeah.
like the shampoo commercial hair flip.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Again, this is the last one from Discord.
Charlie
and this is
again.
it's from Charlie.
Double
Sorry,
dip.
well, he gives us free bacon.
Charlie.
Double
He has
dipping
to-
the bacon.
By the way, the cheddar flavor. Oh my God, is that
Cheddar
good?
bacon.
Cheddar bacon.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Haven't you listened to the reads you've done?
Really not.
Charlie says, "What is the wildest superstition you've ever seen in an NHL, AHL player that A, you've covered, and B, seen or heard of?"
I'm going to start with B, and I hope Bijan is listening. Glenn Hall used to force himself to puke before every game. He did it on purpose.
Doesn't sound fun.
And I just found a story on, and there's a quote here from Glenn Hall who says, I got the feeling if I wasn't giving everything I had, I got the feeling I wasn't giving everything I had if I didn't go through it. I also felt I played better. I felt if I wasn't wired, I wasn't playing well. I'd get up in the morning, and I couldn't wait for game time. That's a guy who would force himself to vomit every single time he
Take
took
it
the ice.
Hmm.
That's a lot. I never vomit.
I would not.
Do everything I can to not.
It's the most unpleasant
not like that.
experience as a human being.
Yes.
is vomiting. It's just
I
everything
get it
but
though.
bad.
Like there's a part of he's not the only person that is has come out and said, I threw up every time I did some sort of sporting event or anything like that. Like, that's a common thing. So there's something to be said, like maybe it's just like your body goes through that, so it like feels the like nerves and like that intensity before you even get to the game. So it's like, oh, well, your body's already ramped up to that peak, so now you've kind of come down from that a little bit. Now you step out on the ice or whatever you're doing, you feel a little bit more relaxed. I could understand that, but as someone who doesn't like to throw up, would probably avoid doing that myself.
It worked for him. 502 consecutive games.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of puke.
Yeah, that is
You can fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool with all that vomit.
That's too much.
Is a lot of puke. I mean, in hockey, like the guys that just have. I don't know if it's just superstition or if it's just
They're
a comfort
creatures
thing.
of habit.
The guys that just have their pads for decades, it's like
Tyler Johnson.
Crosby's jock is like
yeah, like
decrepit.
Crosby and Tyler Johnson, like they've had their same pads since they were like
juniors.
16 years old. I'm like, A,
Gross.
I get it, but B, gross. Like how there's not just dormant
And
bacteria?
how are you the same size as you were when you were 16
That's the other
too?
thing too. Yeah, you still fit in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, like if I were in those guys' shoes, I'd be getting new gear every other year and just top of the line stuff. Like some guys still have like Jofa pads. I'm like, Jesus, that's like 30. That's got to be 20 years old.
Yeah.
Wearing Charlie's helmet out there.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, these guys are creatures of habit. You see it in pre-games.
Yeah,
they do their, Bedard's now doing his little spin before in warm-ups. I mean, look at the Pittsburgh Penguins was able to get a McDonald's sponsorship on the ice because of Sidney Crosby's pregame routine.
Been there his entire career.
Used to basically skate, and some genius was like, that looks like the McDonald's arches. Let's just get them to put their logo on the ice right there when he does it,
He traces
and we
it,
can make
yeah.
a ton of money.
Well,
Like,
McDonald's, that's a local company that just really
Yeah.
boomed from Sidney Crosby, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
nobody knew who they were until
had
Sidney
never heard of
Crosby started doing that. Yeah. But, or was it, what was the, what's the one from Coming to America? McDowell's. Maybe it was McDowell's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jake
there you go.
McDowell's.
All right, that's it for the Discords?
Correct. So we
All right,
have
let's
some
get
super
our
chats,
super chats and
to
get out.
through.
By the way,
Thomas-
hold on.
Oh, yes.
We need a like spike right now. We have far too few likes.
Yes. We have like
Oh, my gosh. Hit the like, everyone.
yeah.
What are we doing?
80,
Spike it.
almost 200 people watching and less than 100 likes.
All right, inspired by our friends at What Chaos.
Yes.
Who?
The What Chaos Show. Follow them on YouTube and on your favorite podcast app. We're going to do a like spike. So 3, 2, 1. Spike that like button for us. Randy Savage elbow smash. Shake, rattle, and roll I mentioned last night. Bonsai drop we said last night. We need some more finishers. What do we got,
Spine
Greg?
buster.
Spine buster's good.
Figure 4, baby.
Figure that might take a while.
Put that like button
Hit
in a
that
leg
like
in a
button
leg
and
lock.
Eddie Guerrero frog splash.
There you go.
Frog
Beautiful.
splash, yeah.
The D'Lo Brown.
Tombstone pile drive. That like
D'Lo
button.
Brown, friend of the company.
There you go.
Because of Bragg.
Sure. Yeah, him and Bragg's best friends.
That's it.
Pals.
That tracks. I can
All
see
right.
that.
Yeah, we're getting there. Keep going, everyone. We
Yeah,
appreciate that.
It's spiking.
All right. Okay, to the super chats. Thomas Salata, $4.99. Can you all explain why there's animosity between the Wolves and the Blackhawks? I've never understood it.
Greg, take it away.
Basically,
Yes.
because
Amazing.
it started when the Wolves became a thing, and Wayne Messmer became a minority owner of the team while he was singing the national anthem for the Blackhawks. They looked at it as competition. And just, the Wolves are, I know a lot of people that work for the Wolves now and used to work for the Wolves. They're kind of a weird organization. Like they, basically tried to be, competition for the Hawks. And for a while, they were outdrawing the Hawks.
They definitely leaned into the fact that they were getting bigger crowds than them
Right.
a number of years
And then
ago.
as soon as the Hawks got good again, things went
changed.
south for them. I think there's a lot of NHL teams that are just done with the Wolves. They don't want to be an NHL affiliate. They're not
Yeah.
an NHL affiliate. You're in a league
They're
where
an
every
independent
team they don't ever want to be. I also think there's some bad blood there because you could look at what the Wolves did when they first started. They pretty much bankrupt the IHL. The IHL doesn't exist anymore because the Wolves started spending a ton of money on getting Al Secord and Brian Noonan and all these ex-players that had name recognition, and other teams tried to do that, and all of a sudden we're like, well, we got no more money.
No more money left.
So there's just a lot of we could do a whole podcast on that, but I've never had a bad experience with the Chicago Wolves. They are, they when you go cover them, they treat you well.
Yeah, Chris Cook and Lindsey Wilhite working there for years, and
they're
good
people. But there's just a lot of they rub a lot of other teams the wrong way.
Yeah.
With some of their doings.
Yep.
And they know that, by the way. This is not.
Yeah,
they're not like
it's not
what
a
my pearls.
It's not
No,
a
they
secret.
know. They know.
They're clutched.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from Phil120, $4.99. What do you envision for Cole Guttman's career path moving forward?
If he can be
A lot of Calder Cup playoff goals.
if he can be a energy fourth liner who can pot a goal here or there, that would be wonderful. And I think that would be kind of what the Hawks would hope he could be. He's 24 now, almost 25, I think. So he's at the upper level of thinking that he's a prospect. I think he might be one of those guys that, like, if he gets to play NHL games regularly, like, that's really good. But he's probably mostly going to be between that NHL and AHL spot. And that's fine. Guys make a complete career out of that, and that's wonderful. So yeah, I think, Guttman's ceiling is not as high as a lot of players that are going to be coming into this organization quickly.
He's going to be victim to the numbers game real quick here.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people overvalued or thought more of what he could be. He's had some nice games, but listen, if he can't be playing on this team all season long, there's obviously some inefficiencies in his game.
Mm-hmm.
And we've heard Luke talk about defensively.
Yeah.
He's just not hacking it. Speed-wise, he's needs to work on that a little bit. Could be, a guy that, as you mentioned, a fourth liner. But I think when you start getting guys like Ludwinski and Gavin Hayes and Ryan Green and all those guys start coming here, Cole Guttman is going to be, thanks for your service, but, I
think he is what he is.
Yeah, I don't think he has a very high ceiling. I don't think he has a super low floor either, but his ceiling is not high. He might be one of those career AHL guys that you bring up for 3 or 4 games in a year because you need someone who can play 8 minutes and not kill you.
Martin St. Pierre.
Sure.
Blackhawks legend.
Ice Hawks
legend for sure.
That's you. Region Rev, I did not see your question in Discord. I just found it, and we just sent it. We'll get to it in a second.
Yes, just 1 second. Let's finish off with this last super here. This is from Alexander, a follow-up to earlier. 10
Euro?
Yeah, euros. Yeah,
those are euros.
To be clear, I love Steven's work. This was his thing about producer Steven.
Yeah.
He said, just keeping the bit about him producing Bear shows. Thanks for having fun with the diehards on Discord and in here. Awesome, you guys keep the bits going. Law, you rock. Oh, Alexander, you rock.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, we knew you were kidding. And we're kidding with Steven, too, and we bag on him for abandoning us.
Right.
Leaving for greener pastures.
Sure. I mean,
they're not greener, really.
Sometimes
it's much worse over there.
Sometimes,
He had to do an hour and 45-minute show today.
Sometimes the truth hurts, but I'm willing to share it with him. Some things he just needs to hear every once in a while. We love Steven, and he if he would stop reacting to when I bust his chops about it, I would stop busting his chops.
Exactly.
All right. Here's Region Rev's question. Sorry, Region Rev. Did not see. I just missed it as I was scrolling through Discord. I am old and my eyes are bad. Here it is.
Okay, this is from the Discord, Region Rev. Here we go. On pulling goalie when there is 0 chance of winning, what's the strategy there? An empty net goal won't count in goals against, but does affect GAA average and goal scores plus minus.
Greg?
It counts against the team goals against, but not the goalies.
Right.
Yeah,
it doesn't count against
it's
the
not
goalie.
the goalies.
Counts against the team's goals per game, but I mean, obviously, if someone's pulling a goalie, there is a chance they still think that there's a chance to win. You're not going to pull the goalie when you're down 6-0.
Yeah, and I
2
think
goals with like 3 minutes to go has kind of become the norm.
Yeah,
That's just different. It never used to be that way.
Yeah, and I think coaches and players are not as worried about one empty net goal against the team's goals for or against plus minus because they don't care about that stat. So I think it's more of coaches saying, hey, like if we have this small percentage chance to try and get back into the game, let's at least take it to see if we can get something going. And if we don't, whatever, we're already down 2. What's being down 3?
Right.
It doesn't,
Right.
you know.
It's a Hail Mary attempt.
Yeah.
Just like, there's a very low percentage of getting a Hail Mary for a touchdown at the end of the game, but you try anyway. Because what else are you going to do? If you pull the goalie with 2:45 left down 2 and you score a goal, a minute later, and all of a sudden you need 1 goal with a minute 45 ago, and now your chances are better.
Look at the last game. Blackhawks got 3 goals in 83 seconds.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot.
It can happen to even the Blackhawks can score goals in that quick of time.
Yes, only against the Sharks though, and goalies making
still counts.
Goalies and AHL pads, but
it still counts.
Obviously, the coaches think there's a chance. Hey. It's like Dumb or Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance. If 1% chance is better than 0% chance, you go for it. Like the guys don't care about their plus minus.
No, and by the way,
only GM burner accounts care about that.
In terms of goals allowed being a playoff differentiator, that is the 6th criteria used to break a tie for playoff seeding.
Yeah, because
so
if you miss the
it's
playoffs
regulation wins.
because you gave up 1 more empty net goal at the end of regulation, you probably don't deserve to be in the playoffs.
And I mean,
you're probably getting your ass swept by the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, and it sucks, but it is pretty far down the road to be too concerned about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the individual stuff is.
And here's the best solution to all that. If you hate pulling goalies at the end of games, lead at the end of games, and it's not
Interesting.
Oh,
That's an interesting concept.
It is.
Yeah,
First time ever.
Wow.
that's really smart.
Yes,
I'm going to hear that on NBC tomorrow.
I'm going to tell Luke Richardson about that.
You should.
I am.
You should.
Hey, Luke, have you ever thought of this?
Hey, why don't you guys score more goals than the other team? Know what I mean?
Put that in your game plan.
Yeah. All right, well, that was a fun mailbag. I know we've got a bunch more to do.
We haven't even hit Twitter.
And if we don't have
There's like 6 or 7.
if we don't have a ton of news on Wednesday, we'll get to them.
You just do them now.
No, I want to go home. It's Monday.
No, I'm kidding.
We've got super late nights coming this week.
Yeah, it is a late night week.
we can do them Wednesday because they're on the road. It's not like we're going to have practice video.
Right.
And we're going to be tired and grumpy. So,
Exactly, sure.
We can yell at Twitter people.
We'll do that.
Nice.
So thanks for being with us. We're here tomorrow, pregame, 9 o'clock?
8:30.
9 o'clock puck
8:30
drop.
pregame.
8:30 pregame.
9
Yeah.
o'clock.
So
Woof.
your post dinner dessert, you have it with us.
Sounds good.
Get your naps in. You're going to need them.
Absolutely.
Get your naps in.
You don't get me tomorrow, but you get me on Thursday. So
What do we get tomorrow?
I believe it's a Greg Braggs Jr.
All
production.
right.
Oh, fun.
That's fun.
Nice.
Can I ask him about Purdue's tiny numbers?
Yeah.
That won't set him off.
That really bothered me. Why are they so small?
Fanatics made them.
That's what I thought. I was like,
It's probably that. That's
Yeah.
what it probably is.
All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow, 8:30 before Hawks and Kings on the pregame show. And then, of course, postgame, we'll talk to you then. Thanks for being with us. Smash that like button on your way out. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.